of Kevin's terrible jokes. I watched from across the patio, a glass of whiskey warming in my hands, thinking how lucky I was. 15 years of marriage, and still, she made my heart skip when she smiled like that. Genuine, unguarded, beautiful. Our hosts, the Thompsons, had outdone themselves. Their backyard was transformed into something from a magazine spread, complete with a jazz trio and enough champagne to float a yacht. Jennifer had insisted we come, even though I'd wanted a quiet Saturday at home. She'd been distant lately, preoccupied, but I chalked it up to stress at work. She was up for partner at her law firm, burning the candle at both ends. Daniel, Kevin called out, waving me over. Tell them about that fishing trip distress. I made my way through the crowd, but Jennifer touched my arm. I need to power my nose, she whispered. Her perfume, Chanel number 5, the one I bought her for our anniversary, enveloping me. Be right back. I watched her slip inside through the fence doors, her emerald dress hugging curves I knew by my heart. That morning, we'd made love slowly, tangled in our sheets as Sunday light filtered through the curtains. Her hands had traced patterns on my chest afterwards. As she said, I love you 3 times. I'd counted, but I also noticed the new lingerie she's been wearing lately, the secretive phone calls that ended when I entered the room, the gym membership she suddenly needed, the late nights that stretched later and later. I tried to push the thoughts away as Kevin's launched into a story about his own wife's shopping habits. My phone buzzed. A work email that could wait? I pretended to read it, half listening to the conversation when I heard Jennifer's voice. She was just inside, around the corner from where I stood on the patio. The door was cracked open, and her words carried clearly through the evening air. I know. Daniel suspects nothing. He's completely oblivious. My blood turned into ice. I didn't move, didn't breathe. Next morning, when he goes to the conference in Seattle, yes, that's when we'll tell them. No, he hasn't noticed the separate account. God, I can't wait to finally be free of him. This charade is exhausting. A male voice murmured something I couldn't make out. Jennifer laughed, a sound I'd heard 1,000 times, but never like this, never so cold. I've already talked to Michelle about the divorce settlement. With the photos we have, Daniel won't know what hit him. The house, the savings, everything. He's been so busy being perfect husband, he has no idea he's about to lose it all. And us? The male voice asked. I strained to recognize it. The moment the paper, the moment the paper are signed, we're gone. Cabo, just like we planned. God, Jason, I can't wait to wake up next to you without sneaking around. Jason, Jason fucking Richardson, my business partner, my best friend since college, the man who'd been best man at our wedding, who'd held our daughter when she was born, who'd I trust with everything. Part 2. The long night. The whiskey glass nearly slipped from my trembling hands. I caught it, forced myself to take a casual sip though. I tasted nothing. Kevin was still talking oblivious to the fact that my entire world has just imploded. Jennifer emerged from the house moments later, her smile bright and practiced. She kissed my cheek, and I had to suppress the urge to pull away. Miss me? She asked, her hand sliding around my waist. Always, I managed the word tasting like ash. Jason appeared from nowhere in the crowd. He had been inside with her. He clapped me on my shoulder. Danny boy, there you are. We need to talk about Henderson contract Monday. I looked at him, really looked at him. Jason Richardson, 6'2", perpetually tanned, with the kind of easy charm that made clients trust him instantly. His wife Rachel was somewhere in the crowd with their twin boys. Did she know? Was she as much as fool as I've been? Sure thing, I said, keeping my voice steady. Monday sounds perfect. The party continued around me like a surreal dream. I played my part flawlessly, the devoted husband, the successful businessman, the good friend. Inside, I was calculating, planning. The lawyer in me, trained in a corporate litigation, was already assembling evidence, considering strategies. Jennifer's phone buzzed repeatedly throughout the night. Each time she'd glance at it with a small smile before tugging it away. How had I been so blind? Around 11, she pressed against me at the bar, her body warm and familiar. Let's get out of here soon, she whispered in my ear. I'm feeling inspired. Once that tone would have sent electricity through me, now it felt like a manipulation, another performance in whatever game she'd be playing. We said our goodbyes at midnight in the car. Jennifer reached for my hand. I let her take it, studying her profile in the passing streetlights. She'd been my college sweetheart. We'd built a life together, a successful consulting firm, a beautiful home in the suburbs, plans for the future we'd mapped out over countless late night conversations. Had any of it been real? Penny of your thoughts, she said softly. Just thinking about the Henderson contract. I lied. Big week. Big week ahead. You work too hard. She squeezed my hand. We should take a vacation, get away somewhere, just us. The audacity was breathtaking. That sounds nice. Where were you thinking? Somewhere warm, tropical maybe. Not Cabo. I thought that's reserved for Jason. At home, our house felt foreign. The photos on the wall, our wedding, our anniversary trips, Christmas, and birthdays all seemed like evidence of an elaborate hoax. Jennifer headed upstairs, and I told her I needed to finish some work. In my study, I sat in the dark, mind racing. Michelle was her divorce attorney, Robert Michelle, a shark known for destroying husbands in court. The photos she mentioned fabricated evidence of infidelity, some other scheme. The separate account was news. I'd have to dig into that on Monday. My phone showed 2:37 a.m. when Jennifer appeared in the doorway wearing a black silk negligee I'd bought her in Paris. Coming to bed, she asked, her voice honey sweet. Part 3. The performance. I should have refused, should have confronted her right then, laid all the cards on the table, but something stalked me. Pride, perhaps, or strategy. If she could play a part, so could I. Just finishing up, I said, closing my laptop. In our bedroom, she pulled me close, kissing me with what seemed like a genuine passion. Her hands worked at my shirt's buttons, and I let her undress me, studying her face for cracks in the facade. There were none. We made love It was different now. Knowing what I knew, every touch felt calculated, every moan a manipulation. When she whispered, I love you against my neck, I wondered how many times she said the same words to Jason. Afterwards, she fell asleep, curled against my chest, her breathing soft and even. I stared at the ceiling, mind churning to possibilities and plans. The conference of Seattle was 3 weeks away. That gave me time. Sunday morning arrived with bright sunshine and smell of coffee. Jennifer was already up making pancakes, my favorite. Our Sunday tradition. Morning, sleepyhead, she said cheerfully when I came downstairs. I thought we could have breakfast, then maybe catch the new exhibit at the museum you wanted to see. The exhibit had been my idea weeks ago. She'd shown zero interest in it. Now suddenly she was the enthusiastic wife, building memories or solving her consigns. Sounds perfect, I said. At the museum, she held my hand, laughed at the right moments, took selfies of us together. I played along even as I mentally catalogued every interaction for battles ahead. Good morning. I arrived at the office early. Jason wouldn't be in until 9. He never was. I locked my office door and started digging. Our company's financial records showed nothing unusual at first. Then I found it small transfers hidden in legitimate business expenses, 500 here, 1,000 there. Over 18 months, Jason had siphoned nearly $80,000 from our accounts. Money I'd assumed was going to operational costs. My email to our forensic accountant was brief: need complete audit, suspected fraud, confidential. Next, I called Tom Bradshaw, the best family law attorney in the state. His fee was astronomical, but I didn't care. When I explained my situation, without names yet, his response was intimidated. Protect your asset today. Move half of everything to separate account, document everything, give me bank statement, phone records, anything you can access legally. I spent my lunch hour at the bank. The teller who helped me was the same who'd handle our mortgage applications. She smiled sympathetically when I asked to open a new individual account and transfer funds. Jennifer called at 2. Hey, honey, what do you want for dinner? I thought I'd cook that chicken marsala you love. That sounds amazing, but I might be late. This Henderson contract is a nightmare. Oh, disappointments colored her voice. Okay, don't work too hard. Actually, I said, inspiration striking. Why don't you and Jason handle the Henderson primarily? I trust you both completely. I'll focus on the Davis merger. A pause. Are you sure? Absolute. You two make a great team. After I hung up, I sat back satisfied. Let them think they had me fooled. Let them get comfortable, careless. Part 4, the investigation. The next 2 weeks were a masterclass in deception on both sides. Jennifer continued her devoted wife routine while I quietly built my case. From private investigator, a former cop named Rita Vesquez was worth every penny. Within a week, she had photographs Jennifer and Jason at a hotel downtown. 3 separate occasions entered together, leaving hours later. The timestamps would be devastating in court. But Rita found something else, something that made my blood boil. They'd been planning for over 2 years. There were emails discussing my useful connections and how to maximize the settlement. Jennifer had deliberately encouraged me to make Jason a full partner 18 months ago, right when their affair had intensified. I'd been a mark. Our entire marriage, at least the last several years, had been a long con. The separate account Jennifer mentioned was in the Cayman Island, stocked with the money she'd been skimming from her law firm settlement. Nothing traceable directly to her, but Rita's forensic expert found the digital trial. Jennifer was risking her career, her reputation, everything for Jason. At home, We continued our dance. She'd initiate sex regularly now, building a case for marital harmony. I realized protecting herself against abandonment claims. I played along, sometimes with a savagery that seemed to excite her, both from rage I couldn't show. One night, after a particularly intense lovemaking, she traced patterns on my chest again. Daniel, do you ever think about what comes next? For us, I mean. I froze internally, keeping my voice casual. What do you mean? I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if you're happy, if this is all there is. The honesty was jarring. Are you happy? I asked. She was quiet for a long moment. I used to be. I think we're grown apart. Don't you feel it? This was it. The opening to her planned conversation, the setup for her eventual demand for divorce. I could end it now, confront her with everything I knew. Instead, I pulled her closer. Every marriage goes through phases. We'll find our way back. The lies came easier now. She relaxed against me, and I felt her tears on my chest. Were they real? Did she actually feel guilty? Or was this another performance? Friday, before Seattle conference, Jason invited me to the drinks after work. Just us guys, he said, haven't had a real talk in forever. At the bar, he ordered scotch, the expensive stuff, and got straight to the business. Danny, I need to talk to you about something serious. My heart raced. Was he actually going to confess? The company, he continued. I think we should consider selling. I've had some offers. We could both walk away wealthy, start fresh. So that was the angle. Liquidate everything. Take the cash, disappear with Jennifer while I was left with nothing. Interesting timing, I said carefully. With the Henderson contract about to close, we'd be at peak valuation. His eyes lit up. Exactly. You see it too. We could announce your retirement, mine. We could announce your retirement, mine. Make it look natural. Split everything 50-50, ride off into the sunset. 50-50 of what was left after he'd stolen 80,000, after they'd planned to take me for everything else. Let me think about it in Seattle, I said. Big decision. That Sunday, Jennifer drove me to the airport. She kissed me goodbye at the departure. Long and deep, I'll miss you, she whispered. 3 days, I assured her. I'll be back before you know it. I watched her drive away, then retrieved my bags and headed to the parking garage where Tom was waiting, ready. Ready? He asked. Let's do it. We didn't go to Seattle. We went to conference room downtown where Rita has assembled everything: photographs, financial records, email transcripts, phone logs. Rachel Richardson was ready there, her eyes red from crying. She'd figured out the affair weeks ago but had been gathering her own evidence. Over the next 8 hours, we coordinated. Rachel would file for the divorce Monday morning. I would file Monday afternoon. Simultaneously, I'd report Jason to the state bar for embezzlement and file criminal charges. Jennifer's law firm would receive an anonymous tip about the Cayman account Monday evening. Her partnership would evaporate along with her career. Monday morning, I texted Jennifer. Conference is intense. Might need to stay an extra day. Love you. Her response came immediately. Miss you. Take your time. Work is crazy here too. I wondered if she was with Jason. The thought no longer hurt. It fueled me. At 9 a.m., Rachel's attorney served Jason at our office. At 2 p.m., a process server found Jennifer at her firm. At 4 p.m., the criminal complaint was filed. At 6 p.m., her managing partner received the evidence of her financial crimes. I arrived home at 7 p.m. Jennifer was in our room, divorce papers on the coffee table, her face destroyed by tears. Daniel, don't. I held up my hand. I heard you at the party, every word. She crumpled. It's not what you think. Jason and I, we were going to tell you. Tell me what? That you've been planning to destroy me for 2 years? That you've been stealing from your firm? That you've been fucking my best friend in hotels I probably paid for? Please, she reached for me. I stepped back. I never meant to hurt you. It just happened. Nothing just happened. You planned this, calculated it. You were going to take everything, my company, my money, my dignity. Did you ever love me? Was any of it real? She sobbed harder. I did love you, I do. But somewhere along the way, you became a criminal and a cheater. I got that part. The next weeks were brutal. Jason lost his law license and faced criminal charges. Jennifer's partnership offer was rescinded. She was under investigation by the state bar. Rachel got custody of twins and a favorable settlement. I got the house, 70% of our assets, and the company. Jennifer got a lawyer for her criminal defense, and the knowledge of her greed had cost her everything. 6 months later, I sat in my study, the same room where I'd learned the truth, with the glass of whiskey. The divorce was final. Jason had pleaded guilty of embezzlement. Jennifer was negotiating a plea deal for her offshore account. My phone buzzed. A text from Ashley, a woman I'd met at a business conference, the real one, in Seattle, that I'd attended after everything settled. She wanted to know if I was free for dinner. I looked at the photo of Jennifer and me on the desk, the last one I hadn't removed. We were smiling at our wedding, young and hopeful and stupid. I deleted the photo and texted Ashley back. Dinner sounds perfect. Italian? The response came quickly. It's a date. I finished my whiskey, feeling something I hadn't in months. Hope. The marriage was destroyed. Yes, but I'd survived. More than that, I'd won. And maybe, eventually, I'd even trust again. But first, dinner with someone new, someone who didn't know the man who'd been fooled, someone who might help me become the man who'd learned better. I poured the rest of the whiskey down the sink, grabbed my keys, and headed out into the night behind me. A house stood empty, a monument to what was lost. Ahead, the city lies beckoned with possibilities, and for the first time in months, I smiled. The end.